Welcome back. Jahmal Cole's My Block, My Hood, My City. It's a program that's getting Chicago kids out of their daily ruts into new experiences that the entire city should be enjoying. I want to welcome Jahmal and some of the folks who participate in this program. We've got Kamari Bell, who's a sophomore from Butler College Prep, and his assistant principal, Topher Board-Nave, and Matthew Park, who's from the Chatham Business Association. You guys, thank you so much for coming in. Jahmal, this is phenomenal that you would do something like this. Why? I mean, you grew up like all over, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was born on a Greyhound bus, so I traveled back and forth from Fort Worth, Texas to the west side of Chicago my whole life, so I understand the power of travel. And after graduating college, I volunteered at Cook County Juvenile Detention Facility, and I just asked a group of kids, hey, have you guys been downtown? Whole room went quiet. I said, where are you guys from? You know, my block is 21st Street. My hood is the low end.
And that's it.
Yeah, so I knew immediately I wanted to do something about that.
It's amazing. I mean, I go downtown every day. It's like no big deal to me, but these kids can see it from their neighborhood. Look out, like Isaiah Thomas, Pistons. All his life lived on the west side, could see it, and never actually went downtown until he went away to school to come back to play.
That's horrible, actually.
Yeah, it is horrible.
So I hope I can actually, through my program, give teenagers access to opportunities in all 77 Chicago communities instead of just being isolated to your particular community.
Now, Kamari, you went to Edgewater last week.
Yes.
What was that like for you? Was it life-changing, would you say, or it's amazing that that's right in your city?
I would say it was amazing right in my city because I never been up north before. It was a new experience. I never been up there before, and it got me used to seeing new people as well.
What does it do for your psyche? I mean, what does it do for you in general? Does it make you want to not stay in your block when you grow up and just move elsewhere, and to know that there are other possibilities for you? Or what does that do for you?
Well, what it does for me, it just makes me feel that there's more for me, instead of outside of Chicago, inside the urban neighborhoods. That I could do more for myself by traveling and understanding more cultures,
Yeah, it kind of makes you feel included in everything, doesn't it? You're not on the outside, you're actually on the inside.
Yeah.
Topher, what are kids coming to you saying after they did that last week, for instance?
Yeah, so it was really great to be driving down Lakeshore Drive and just explain to them, like, this is downtown, this is the Loop, this is Lakeview, this is Lincoln Park, and they just had no idea and any clue what those neighborhoods were about. And so then coming back to school on Monday and the kids being really pumped and excited was very refreshing for me. And so I emailed Jahmal right away and was like, we have to do this again.
We're
and
ready.
Get more kids involved because it was a really great experience for them.
Now, Matt, for you, why haven't you been outside of your neighborhood? Why aren't people leaving their neighborhoods?
Well, people aren't really leaving their neighborhoods because they're so used to just going from school to back to their home, and they don't really get the chance to experience any other places up north. And they come out around the south side because the parents usually come out around the south side, and everything that they do, everything they participate in is usually on the south side of Chicago, and they usually don't have to go up north for any reason, and that's how they usually don't end up seeing the rest of the city.
How does that enlighten you when you see different parts of the city, knowing that that's out there? I mean, that's like a stone's throw away from you.
Well, knowing that there's other parts of the city, you get to see other cultures. Like, for instance, we went to an Ethiopian restaurant up north. I never had Ethiopian food before, and it was a wonderful experience trying new dishes. And we also got to go to an old-fashioned candy store. I didn't know that they had candy stores anymore.
Wow.
And it was a wonderful experience. I got to see more of the north side, more cultures, and got to experience new things I never experienced before.
Does this break down racism eventually, you think?
Oh yeah, Chicago is segregated not only by culture and color, but by ideas, by opportunities, and by resources. I don't think the prosperity of Chicago should be determined by a few select wealthy communities. I think the prosperity of our city has to be determined by economic activity and access to opportunities in all 77 community areas.
I love this sweatshirt. Tell me about this and how this is helping to get these kids to these different neighborhoods.
Well, thank you. The sweatshirts are how I fund the program. So you can go to www.mbmhmc.com, like My Block, My Hood, My City, and purchase a hoodie. They're all embroidered. And if you want it customized, we probably could do that too. But it's holiday season. I hope to see more people taking selfies and hashtagging My Block, My Hood, My City. Tell me what you love about your block or your hood. So.
Yeah, it's more than just a sweatshirt. It's an opportunity for these kids to be able to do something like this.
I agree.
So what's next? Where's the next neighborhood you guys are going?
We're going to be visiting the Loop. So we're going to take the teenagers again for probably Pullman, and we're going to visit the Loop, Navy Pier. We're going to go to the barber shop and get everybody fades, get everybody haircuts.
Uh-oh.
And we got a few special things planned with businesses, trading firms downtown. So.
And this is for you. You're kind of making deals with these businesses to let these kids come in.
Oh yeah, once I let them know what I'm doing and I shoot them my packet, they're like, wow, Jahmal, this is awesome. We'll give you a break here. I know the Willis Tower, I still call it the Sears Tower. So
yeah, a lot of us do.
On TV, so the Willis Tower has been very receptive. They're helping out a lot, so they give us a discount to go to the top.
Now, what about, you talked about you ate Ethiopian food. Kamari, when you get to eat at these places, how does that make you feel? I mean, to eat this different food, it's not just like burgers and fries, right?
Well, it makes me feel like that there's more out there, because I never thought I would ever taste Ethiopian food ever in my life.
Really?
So it was like amazing. It tasted amazing actually. It tasted really good, and it got me introduced to a new culture. Like at my school, we had a thing called a geography bowl. My advisory was second to win it, and I was actually introduced to Ethiopia before, and to eat the food actually it just opened my mind a little bit.
Topher, this isn't something you can teach these kids, is it? This is something they have to actually experience.
Right, so at Butler, we focus on the arts and social justice. So this is just another one of those social justice things that we really wanted to just get that mindset of it's not just about here in the Pullman neighborhood, but in effort for them to be successful in college, they have to be experiencing these new great things around their city to where they don't have as much of a culture shock when they actually step foot on campus.
I mean, when you come from a place like Chicago and they're going to a campus, people are already going to assume you know so much because you come from such a rich, diverse city. But not really, because they're staying within that area that they grew up in.
Exactly. I try to tell people that if a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, then Chicago is only as strong as its most under-resourced community. And I hear all the time people say, I've never been further south than the White Sox Stadium. If you take the red line from 79th Street to Fullerton, you'll think you've gone on vacation.
Right.
Why is that? So I just want to expose people to new cultures, new perspectives and ideas within our own city. So.
What school are you going to go to, college?
Well, I'm aiming for UCLA.
Oh, wow. Now, would you have done that without knowing all this before, you think? No. And you go to Chicago State, right, Matt? If you had learned about all this prior to, would you go to Chicago State? Not that it's not a bad school, it's a fabulous school, but would you have gone out of state, you think?
I might have, because the reason I went to Chicago State is because it was on the south side and it was
easy.
the easy commode to reach.
It was easy, and that's what you knew.
Yeah.
That's what you knew. But now this is opening up so much for you guys. I mean, how thankful are you to Jahmal for this?
Very thankful.
Extremely.
Yeah, I can imagine. And Butler now, is Butler the only school participating now, or are others going to join in?
We're going to join in.
Okay.
We're going to join forces, the south side, take them all over the city, and do some great
I
things.
think it makes sense. You've got how many kids now in the program?
About 46.
And what's your goal?
My goal is to do well in Chicago this year, expand to Panama. Why can't my block, my hood, my city work in Oakland? Why can't it work in New Jersey? So there's a lot of under-resourced community areas in Chicago, and a lot of people need to explore. But I definitely want to grow and work with more high schools in Chicago, and also organizations that serve teenagers in these communities I want to work with.
I mean, you got to believe in New York City, people are staying in Queens and not going to Manhattan or vice versa, Brooklyn and things like that.
Exactly.
Definitely. What's next? I mean, you've got more kids coming, you've got more sweatshirts. After the sweatshirts, what are some other things you plan to sell?
Yeah, so we're actually a kid from Humboldt Park. Right now, he just created a hat called the Humboldt Head Rush, and that's going to be releasing late November.
Okay.
So a lot of the teenagers are learning not only how to sell internet market, but they can learn how to embroider, learn how to do their own screen printing. So it'll be like a workshop where we can learn how to market the clothes that we make.
So you're teaching them a lot of things, training them to learn how to be entrepreneurs, budget and things like that, not just going out to these different areas.
No, it's a lot more than just a field trip. So they're teaching me a lot about social media too. These kids know how to use Snapchat, Instagram, and I'm learning new things every day.
Twitter, gee, I don't know how they do, but they were born into this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a give-give situation, is it?
Yeah. It's
Thank
awesome.
you all so much. Good luck to you guys. Will you come back and talk to us about your next experiences?
Yes,
Thank
definitely.
you.
Of course.
Thank you all so much, Jahmal.
Thank you.
Great program.
Thank you.
Our thanks to Jahmal and everybody in this program. For more on My Block, My Hood, My City, please visit their website, mbmhmc.com. Get a hoodie. Send these kids all over the city.